Hello everyone, my name is Rosa and this yoga sequence I made for jet lag. But you can also do this if you are in need for some grounding and stretching. So last week I was in Vietnam, which was really cool. It was the first time I went out of Europe and also the first time I had such a long flight. And I definitely felt a jet lag. So I wanted to share this sequence which helped me through. So let's begin in Sukhasana. You can sit in a cross-legged position. Maybe you prefer to sit onto your heels like this. Maybe you like to sit onto a block. Do whatever feels good. And then you can close your eyes and arrive on the mats. Breathe in deeply through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth, letting go of everything which is not on the mats. And then one time in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Arrive on the mat. Feel your feet and your legs and your sitting bones onto the mats. Feel where you are literally grounded. From this foundation, feel your upper body lifting up. You can very lightly engage the pelvic floor muscles. You feel your sitting bones into the mat. So you lift yourself up. Your lower belly is in and up. Relax the shoulders. Maybe you can roll them up and down the back. Relax the arms. You can rest your hands wherever feels good. And your chin is slightly in, while the crown of the head is reaching towards the sky. So in this sequence we will ground down, but also consider to take some space. Maybe you've been traveling a lot or sitting a lot and always in this tiny little space, but try to open yourself up and stretch wherever you need to, whenever you need to. And make it open, make the movements open. You can bring your hands in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra, prayer position. And you can set your own intention for this class, or maybe for the day. And then bring your hands to your forehead. And bring the arms alongside the body. Maybe you can open up your eyes. Bring your right hand onto the mat. Maybe you walk it all the way to the right. And then reach the left arm overhead. You can bend the right elbow. Maybe look up. And with an inhale you come to the center. And exhale to the other side. Maybe you bend the lower arm. Maybe you roll the wrists. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Bring the arms down and bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can bring your right hand onto your left ear. Stretch the neck. If you want to intensify the stretch, you can bring your left arm up. And bring the fingertips towards your body. Breathe in through that neck. Inhale to the center and then bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Bring your left hand onto your right ear. Bring your right arm up. Fingertips coming up, facing your upper body. With your next inhale, you come to the center. And we'll come onto hands and knees into a tabletop position. Bring your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. And then with an inhale, you bring the tailbone up and look up. Exhale, bring the tailbone down. Bring the belly in and look in, cat pose. Inhale, tailbone up, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, tailbone up, look up, cow pose. And exhale, round the back, plant the fingers into the mat. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Come to the center and bring your toes under and bring your hips towards your heels. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Your fingers are still wide spread. And feel stretch in the back of the feet. And with an inhale, you come forward. Plant the toes flat onto the mat. Open your chest into a cobra pose. Exhale. Toes under, bring your hips towards your heels. Inhale, come forward, cobra. Open. Exhale. Back to a child's pose with the toes under. And inhale, come forward, open your heart. Exhale, come back to the middle again, to a tabletop position. With an inhale, you bring your right arm up. Maybe you look up. Exhale, bring your right arm underneath your left arm. Your right palm is facing up. Bring your shoulder onto the mat. And the side of your head onto the mat. Maybe you bring the left fingertips forward. Maybe you like to go for the bind. But watch out, be careful with your body, especially when you've been sitting a lot. Listen to yourself and don't go too far. And try to breathe. And bring your left palm in front of your head, in front of your face. Flat onto the mat. Inhale, bring your right arm up, stretch it up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, bring your left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring your left arm underneath your right arm. Your left palm is facing up. You can bring your fingertips forward, or maybe you go for the bind and bring your right arm to your left upper thigh. Then to come out, bring your right hand in front of your face, left arm goes up. Exhale, left arm down into a tabletop. And bring your toes under, bring your hips towards your heels, and then bring your knees and stretch the legs into a downward facing dog. First downward facing dog. Pedal the feet out. Shake your head, yes or no. Do whatever you need to do. And then from this first downward facing dog, bend your knees and walk your feet towards your hands. Your feet are hip distance apart and you grab the opposite elbow into a ragdoll pose. Let go of the arms. You can choose to keep your feet hip distance apart, or maybe you bring the big toes to touch in the middle of the mat and your heels slightly apart. Inhale, plant the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Breathe here, feel your feet grounded into the mat. And inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, belly in. Exhale, plant the palms, bring your right foot back and then your left foot back into a plank position. Look at your posture in plank position. Your heels are reaching backwards, your fingers are again wide spread underneath your shoulders. And of course, you bring the belly in. Then if you want, you can bring your knees onto the mat. You can also keep them up, but with an exhale, you're coming all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Reach the tailbone up and back. Bend the knees, look to the front of the mat, and this time you can either walk or maybe you like to jump towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, plant the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe you add a back bend, bring your hips forwards. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, bring your left foot back and then your right foot back into a plank pose. Again, choose if you want to bring your knees down or keep your knees up. Or maybe you like to go for a chaturanga right now. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look to the front of the mat and step or jump towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Now bend the knees deeply. This time you bring the toes together, your knees together. Bend the knees deeply and with an inhale, bring your arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Make sure your knees are in one line and that you can see your toes. Then with an exhale, straighten the arms, bring the hands in front of your heart. Inhale, bend the knees again, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. You can step into a plank pose, or if you like, you can straight away jump into a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, Downward facing dog. With an inhale, bring your right leg up. And exhale, plant your right foot next to your right thumb. You can bring your left knee down with the toes flat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale here. With your next exhale, you twist to the right. Bring your left elbow on your right upper thigh. Twist from your belly and maybe you look up. If you want, you can bring your left toes under and come. Bring your left knee off of the mat. And then everybody comes into a warrior two. So your left foot is now parallel to the short edge of the mat. Your left toes are pointing to the front of the mat. Your right knee is on top of the right ankle. Arms are horizontal. Look over your right fingertips. And relax the shoulders and your face. Maybe you smile. You stretch the right leg. Reach the right arm forward. And then with an exhale, bring your right arm down, your left arm up. You can look up or down, whatever feels good onto your neck. You can also spread your fingers wide. Take up that space. Feel yourself opening in all directions. With an inhale, you come up again. Bring your hands onto your hips. Your toes are pointing to the long side of the mat. Your toes are slightly in, your heels are slightly out. Inhale, lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then with an exhale from the hips, you fold forward. Breathe deeply. And bring your right toes to the front of the mat. Bring your left hand on your left hip. Bend that right knee. You can bring your right hand to the right corner of the mat. And we're bringing our left foot up for a half moon pose. So make sure your whole body is facing the long side of the mat. Your left foot is flexed. And if you feel stable, you can bring your left arm up. Spread the fingers wide for more stableness, for more support. And then, if you still feel stable, you can maybe look up. And to come out, you very lightly step with the left foot back into a warrior two. Windmill the arms forward, come to a plank pose. Do a vinyasa straight to downward facing dog. So with a vinyasa, come all the way or halfway down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left leg up. Exhale, plant your left foot next to your left thumb. Bring your right knee down, toes flat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale here. With an exhale, bring your right elbow on your left upper thigh. Twist from the belly. Maybe look up. Then if you want to, you can bring your right toes under and bring the right knee up. Stretch that right heel away from you. And then everybody bring your way. Make your way into a warrior two. Stretch the left leg. Bring both toes to the long side of the mat. Bring your hands into your hips again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Maybe this time you can grab your big toes or your ankles or your legs. And then again, halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And with an exhale, you maybe come a little bit deeper. Make sure you're planting the outer edges of your feet as well into the mat. Maybe there's a slight bend into the knees. So you make sure you are using your whole leg. And breathe deeply. And steady. Bring your hands into your hips again with an inhale coming all the way up. Bring your left toes to the front of the mat. Keep your left leg straight. Straighten your arms. And reach the left arm forward until you can't reach anymore. And then bring your left arm down, your right arm up. Triangle pose. Maybe you spread the fingers wide, maybe you roll the wrist. So really take up that space, do whatever you need to. Navel to the spine. And we bring your right hand onto your right hip, bend the left knee and bring your left hand to the left corner of the mat. You can bring your right foot up, flex the right foot. And if you feel stable, you can bring your right arm up. Again, spread the fingers wide. If you feel stable, you can also look up. You can always bring something underneath that left hand. Then to come out, you try to very lightly step your right foot back into a warrior two. Windmill the arms forwards. Come to a plank pose. Do a vinyasa, straight to downward facing dog. So if you've been sitting a lot into a plane or something, your body needs to get used to move again. So don't make it too hard for yourself. Just try to enjoy the stretch and the grounding. This is the last downward facing dog. Enjoy. And to come out, you can bend your knees. Look to your hands and step or jump into a seated position. Bring the soles of the feet together into a butterfly pose. And bring your feet as close to your body as possible. It's also fine if you want to bring it a little bit more further away. But try to, or make sure you sit up tall. So from the tailbone to the crown of the head is lengthened. Your belly is in. And there's still a natural curve in the lower back. Then with an inhale, you reach the arms up. With an exhale, twist to the right. Bring your left hand onto your right knee. Your right fingertips are behind you. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit deeper. Your next inhale, come to the center, bring your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left, bring your right hand to your left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And with an inhale, come back to the center, arms up. Exhale, this time fold forward. So land your hands wherever they land. Inhale, lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale, maybe you fold a little bit deeper. So with your next inhale, you walk your hands up. Bring your knees together. Come to sit onto the front of the mat with the knees bent. Your arms alongside the body, straightened. And then with an exhale, you're coming all the way down to your back. Use the strength of your core to make this a mindfulness movement. And then you're on your back. Bring your left leg up. Flex and point the foot. Maybe you roll the wrist, the ankle. And bring your left ankle onto your right upper thigh. Bring your right knee towards your chest. Bring your left hand into that space in between the legs. Bring your hands underneath your knee. And then while you bring your right knee towards your chest, you bring your left knee away from you. Both feet are flexed. And bring your right foot down onto the mat. You straighten that left leg above you and then bring your left foot down as well. You bring your right leg above you, straighten and flex the foot. Maybe you roll the ankle. Then bring your right ankle onto your left upper thigh and bring your left knee towards your chest. Bring your hands underneath your knee. Flex both feet. And while you bring the left knee towards your chest, you bring your right knee away from you. Breathe through the sensations. Breathe to the opening. And bring your left foot onto the mat. Your right leg straightens once again. And bring your right foot onto the mat as well. Bring your both knees towards your chest. Bring your arms in a T shape, so you straighten the arms. I cannot do that because of the space. But you can also bend your elbows into a cactus shape. And then with your next exhale, you bring your knees to the right. And maybe you look to the left. Make sure both shoulders are onto the mat. If this is not the case, you can always bring something underneath your knees. And breathe deeply into the twist. with your next inhale, bring your head and your knees to the center. And with an exhale, bring your knees to the left. You can look to the right. Make sure both shoulders are onto the mat. With your next inhale, you can bring your head and your knees to the center. And before we're going to our little Shavasana, you can do whatever you need to do. Maybe do one last pose. Maybe put something warm on. Make sure you do it mindfully. And then you can come to lay down onto your back. Your toes fall out to the side. Bring your arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. And this is the time where you can let go of any controlled breathing or tension. This is the time where you don't have to do anything. Want to come out of Shavasana, you can bring some movements back into your body. Your toes, fingers, the ankles, the wrists. Maybe you roll your head from side to side. And then very gently bring your knees into the chest. Roll over to your right side. And very gently come to a seated position, just how we started the practice. Close your eyes for a moment. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And remember your intention. And bring your hands to your forehead. I'd like to thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or feedback, I would love to hear it. Have a great day.